You're still caught.
So, the draft, boys, we've got an amalgamation of both of these games already. We got the Magnus that was on NaVi, now on 5-men, and we've got the Spectre Warlock combo again, which was so effective in the last series. But, I mean, surely 5-men is going to pull out some kind of stop for this. They know what's coming. They know exactly what this game's going to look like, right?
Do they?
I would hope
Well, they
so.
just played this game. They just played it 10 minutes ago.
If they want to win, I would say that's probably a good idea.
I really like Legion or some save for NaVi right now.
Yeah.
Like initiation / save. I think it's like super good for their lineup right now. So, like if I was off laning for them, I'd be like, yeah, give me some Legion.
The Grimstroke coming out there. A garbage hero, according to some of our panelists.
Okay,
here.
it's not. Let me be clear.
You realize this is the double fatal bonds is what they're going
Garbage.
for.
Oh my god.
I also
It's actually legit.
maybe I'm reading too much into this, but if they did pick something like an IO Gyro, for example, I mean that's not going to happen with Magnus, but Grimstroke does block pick quite a few things.
Yeah.
You know, Pangolier, IO Gyro, like we
Oh
talked about.
god. Undying again. Guys, I don't understand. Magnus is predictable. Undying is predictable. We know exactly what this team's going to do right now. How are they going to win this game? I mean, it's... Why would you draft such a way?
This is simple, right? Usually I wait till the end to give you the wrong answer about who's going to win.
Okay,
the draft.
sure.
And I'm going to mix things up for myself as well as the timing and say that I refuse to say Spectre will lose all 3 games and then watch her win all 3 games. So regardless of what happens in this draft, I am taking the Spectre.
Okay, great.
At the first 3 picks, I'm not convinced that they are punishing a first pick Spectre. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, I'd play Spectre in this game. Like, yeah, it's not like perfect or whatever, but I'll play Spectre. It seems nice.
I don't see what on 5-men does anything to Spectre. I don't see why you wouldn't want to play Spectre in this game. Ooh, Kunkka. That's not too much of a hero these days. 42% win rate, something like that in pro level tough.
Yikes.
Not looking so good.
That's pretty rough. Even though we got that cool cosmetic from the Aghanim's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
How do you say that word?
Labyrinth.
It's not Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. Why is there a Y in there?
Labyrinth?
Like Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. L-A-Y.
I think he's right.
Is it really not Labyrinth?
No, I think it's Labyrinth.
Is it?
He's
Anyway, hey, Troll Warlord! I've been talking about this hero
Look at that.
this whole time, saying that 5-men
Can
pick
somebody,
this
like,
hero,
tweet
and
me
here
that
it
or
is.
something? Like, I need to go Google have the Google word voice.
No, I was just going with what he's saying.
Yeah, ain't you ever watched that movie?
Oh, okay.
I was just seeing if you.
I'm like, wait, I've definitely pronounced it Labyrinth my entire life.
That's not how David Bowie said it in Labyrinth. He said, "Welcome to the Labyrinth!"
Well,
and then he danced with the puppets.
I mean, where's David Bowie at now?
Well,
you
he's
know?
dead, I
Obviously-
think.
Obviously didn't work out for him.
Is he
So.
alive? Anyway, Troll Warlord picked up. We've got some unique picks here, but we've seen this team spam and troll. What makes them good, BSJ?
There's not really any stuns on the opponent lineup right now. Like, Swell's kind of a stun, and Torrent Boat's kind of a stun, but none of it's like instant disable burst damage that's going to prevent him from navigating the fights in the way that he wants to and prevent him from ulting. So that's nice for Troll. He's also got the steroid from Mag and Power. He's one of the best traditional Mag partners, but they're all in on the lane train right now on 5-men. I also think Mag is a hero that never really wins. If they put Mag mid, I'll be more optimistic for their lineup. I just don't believe in Mag offlane.
I don't either. It doesn't. Mag mid is nice because you have this, mid-game guy. You don't necessarily need to get a blink. You can just skewer in and be this kind of pseudo right-clicking guy, which is really great because when you're against a Spectre, you're not going to get a blink off anyway. And then so you have the early game and the mid-game dealt with because Mag will kill everybody in the team fights himself. But then you have a troll to empower in the late game, so you have the scaling as well. So I definitely agree. I would much prefer to see the mid-mag because I think it gets countered less.
Honestly, I'd rather a mid-mag or a 4-position mag. I do not want to see a 3-mag.
Because the 3-mag is all about blinking and getting the RP off.
Yes, that is what you are. You're
and empowering your guy.
Utility guy, and that is not going to work here, I think. So
no.
You do not want the mag to be an RP. You want him to be empower farming centric for himself or empower farming centric as a 4. That's like how I look at this. We'll see what they end up going with, though. I just think that they do need some sort of other way to start the fight on the side of 5-men. Void Spirit's kind of nice, but I think the Bat Rider would have been a really nice choice for them. That was banned out from NaVi. Yeah. I think anything like that, right? Something that's just a hard initiation, single target would be nice for 5-man because they kind of have a little bit of lane prowess with the Undying Troll Warlord. That's also like an early group up lineup. I don't know how to explain it this time around. Usually I have an idea of what I think a team's missing, but their draft just lacks something. So I hope whatever this last pick is, I'm like, oh, yes.
Ah, yes, wonderful.
Perfect.
Can we talk a little bit about the Kunkka? We kind of glossed over that a little bit. And as you said, terrible win rate right now.
Yeah.
Any particular reason why you think they brought that bad boy in?
Why did they bring it in?
Give them a dangler, man.
Yeah, they do kind of need a frontliner, and it does depend on what they want for their offlaner too. You know, Kunkka's a hero that without a blink dagger he can initiate team fights, which is always really nice. If you want an offlane, you know, Queen of Pain, for example, something like that. Basically, any of these int guys. There's like, back in the day, you know, a couple of months ago, there's the whole train of thought of like there are two types of offlaners. There are the int heroes like the Death Prophets, the Quaps, and then there are the traditional Brewmasters and stuff. So seeing a Kunkka makes me think they're going to go with the int guys. Like that's always what that looks like to me. If you're going to pick a Kunkka where you're not picking it to counter something, because it's not like it's a broken hero right now by any means. So this really to me reveals that the offlane I think is going to be, or the Kunkka's offlane.
Yeah. I mean, Brian, you mentioned Fatal Bonds before and how cool it is with Grimstroke, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, Kunkka even more with that. I mean,
Double X.
Yeah, you know, double X's, even the cleave damage spread amongst everybody with Fatal Bonds. And
Oh, that's true. Yes,
Yeah,
AoE. I thought you were going for the Grimstroke synergy, not the Fatal
no, that'd be
Bond
pretty
synergy.
dumb. Double X Grimstroke. Is that something that people do?
Earth Spirit.
Hey!
Oh, I was so close to calling that one.
Well, talk to us about
That
it.
was
Why,
my
sir?
fourth guess.
I was thinking, so Earth Spirit #1 can be played in any position right now, other than like, you know, carry obviously, but he can be played in most positions. So if you wanted to run an Earth Spirit offlane, that'd be totally fine. But really, like, I totally agree that they need something other than just the Void Spirit to start fights. They need some guy to go in and be a complete maniac, and so like Earth Spirit is good, Clockwork is good. I think Clock's probably banned. I can't see it right now, but you know, usually
No, not yet. They actually banned
Oh, okay.
Lion and Beastmaster.
that's interesting. But Earth Spirit is a Spirit Vessel builder, good against the Kunkka, good against the Spectre. Really great at any silence is nice against Spectre because it's just kind of like, and any hero who can get on top of her from a long distance through fog or through a smoke. Because if you can't jump her or silence her before you're on top of her, she just presses Han. She gets away from you.
Yep.
Like, she's so difficult to gank because of that. Or she just uses her dagger and walks across trees. So Earth Spirit is surprisingly good against Spectre in terms of just killing her in the game.
And there we go. The Lina picked up by NaVi.
So it is an offline Kunkka.
That's a bit strange that they're doing offlane Kunkka into Troll. Doesn't seem great. Troll Undying. Seems like a really weird lane setup.
They could be doing something interesting again, though. You know, switching it up, taking a page out of 5-man's book.
You know,
Aggro Spectre.
I'm just going to make the statement that I haven't really fully understood what's happened in this series, meaning, like, obviously I've been wrong with my predictions and all that kind of stuff. And I think from what I've learned, you know, I'm reflecting and saying, okay, this is what I had wrong, this is what I think I need to learn from this game. And I'm going to go with NaVi, and if they lose, I officially have not learned anything.
Okay, great. Well, our odds guys have certainly learned something. Things are a lot more even now. Looks like we're in the favor of 5 men. Jenkins, do you agree?
He said Navi.
Well, he did say NaVi.
Yeah, you please don't agree with me because
I'm actually going to disagree with it this time.
God.
Oh my goodness.
The reason I'm going to disagree is because that last draft with Brewmaster, I have not seen them run anything like that. Not once. The only thing that I've seen is the Enchantress. But this draft with the Troll Magnus, this is something they have run a lot. So I feel like if they are playing something they are comfortable with, I think they're going to do really well. That's I think they are I still think they are the better team. I think Spectre is a broken hero, but I think now they're playing into a broken hero with something they are very confident with. And so I would favor them.
The Kunkka offlaning is a little bit iffy for me, but
Garbage.
Sus, some would say.
sus.
In fact, perhaps our casters have something to say about such a sus thing. Will the Kunkka man be able to survive his offlane, or will he not be offlane at all? Well, it's time to find out by the two competent people in the studio. We have Fogged and Capitalist.
Slacks, you're being so sweet to us. I thought that harassing you earlier on would eventually just make you snap back at me really hard, but no, you're still being really nice to me.
He's changed during these last 6 months, I guess.
Maybe it's because he's in the role of professional host now. He has to be, you know, a little bit less him and a little bit more corporate.
I think he's trying. I don't know about that one.
I miss the old Slacks, personally. All right, let's get into game 3. 5-man versus NaVi. It is weird.
I'm like,
right?
I don't want to like. I like agreed with Brian on some stuff before. Now I'm like, I don't know. I'm backpedaling pretty hard right now.
Dangerous.
Maybe Jenkins was right. No, maybe this is why Jenkins he has like all these views on his videos and everything. You know, he's just like.
They just recognize his genius.
No, it can happen.
No, that can't be it.
It can't be that. No, it's. I mean, the Spectre really just looks like it's been absolutely insane. They have a lot of cool potential, too, with it. I'm glad they pointed out that Grimstroke Fatal Bond thing. That's one of my favorites that I used to see in the past quite a bit. Yeah, I'm a little weirded out by the Kunkka, though. I think that one's a bit of a concern for me. And I do love that 5-man, they got 2 ways to pierce into backline. That's well, even like 3 ways if you include the Magnus. But Earth Spirit, Void Spirit, you're going to find Warlock and Grimstroke. You're going to be able to catch them, and you're going to be able to mess up their combo spells pretty easily. And they're actually setting themselves up for triple aggression right here.
Ooh. Almost gets him. Immersion did manage to win that Bounty Rune pick-off there. So he does that. And as they were talking about, it is going to be a mid Lina versus Chessie's Void Spirit. When Void Spirit first came out, this is actually a relatively common matchup, right? I remember seeing this a few times.
Yeah, and I've seen the Void Spirits do pretty okay in this matchup. I've also seen the Linas get kills randomly because like the Void Spirit oversteps his bounds, but that hero just seems to do really well in a lot of like matchups that you wouldn't think that he would because of the damage blockers. As we said, this Kunkka, he's not gonna have fun up here at all.
Yeah.
And Pi might actually just be able to kill him.
It's looking like it. If he got another swing and then a decay, I'm pretty sure that kills.
I wanted to pull immersion.
I guess he's got stick charges.
Okay, this top lane's over.
Yeah, this is. I don't know why they thought this would be okay.
He's literally just taking out both of them by himself, pushing them away. They're building up their stick charges, but denying full experience.
And even when they get to lane, it's still a troll.
Yeah.
Troll has really strong impact. If you have a strong laning support, the fact that he has this range slow is so good.
One more hit. One more decay.
One more and then a decay. That's what he's going to go for, and that's your first blood. Pylai Dice says, perfect. I've used most of my mana. I'll just run it down. He did manage to TP back in time. He got the experience for that kill. So
the Kunkka TP'd from the lane to get that experience. So now, I mean, now if Kunkka dies,
it would actually be a huge blow.
Yeah, but he gets the experience. It pays off at least for him a little bit there. But yeah, they're going to put no pressure onto this Troll Warlord at all, and that Kunkka's probably going to be pretty low level and very low farm.
Yeah, in the words of the panel, I believe they used 3 different words. I think it was questionable, sus, and garbage to describe this off-lane Kunkka scenario, and all of those are panning out to be correct.
Yeah, he's going to suffer. Taking a look at mid. Youngji's actually doing a very good job. 11-5, 7-0 on Chessie.
Yeah,
pulling him away.
I actually have a story about this matchup.
Ooh.
Because I actually got to watch Blitz 1v1 some random pub Void Spirit Lina because, you know, classic Blitz.
Classic Blitz, yeah.
They're arguing with each other. And the guy challenged him to a 1v1. And what Blitz said about this matchup, he was trying to tell the pub that got really mad at him, was that you can't do a whole lot as Void Spirit because your lane just gets pushed in all the time. Okay. You're just going to spam, like, even if you can, like, go dissimulate, which was what the guy was arguing with him about. Even if you go dissimulate, your lane's just going to be pushed in constantly into you. Lina has full control of runes, which I believe at that time there was still the 2-minute power runes.
Okay.
But then, like, you know, just that act alone is going to make it so you fall behind. A big creep wave goes underneath your tower. Lina hits you a couple times while you're trying to get CS.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. He's getting bullied pretty hard, so I take back my statement.
It was pretty funny, though. The random pub, he maxed out Dissimulate in that matchup, and he just held on. I think they played the 1v1 mid for like 10 minutes. The guy was so far behind in CS, but he refused to die.
How many times has Will gone into 1v1?
I don't know,
Because I'm pretty sure I watched at least twice where he was...
He's stubborn and spiteful.
I remember watching the SF versus SF one pretty recently.
Oh, yeah. 4-minute power runes coming up, and old Pile Die parked himself up at top. Stole away that regeneration rune that Young G certainly would have liked to have.
Is it this one-sided, though? 25-11 to 13-0? That seems a little excessive, but...
Well, it was that one-sided with Blitz versus that random pub, but that was a random pub and not a professional versus professional player matchup, so I have no idea.
Fair enough.
I feel like maybe it shouldn't be this one-sided. It is pretty crazy how far ahead he is. Young G just flexing his mid muscles.
Yeah. Important thing for him to have this really good start though in this game, because like we said, there is a lot of ways to just get on top of those squishy heroes, right? And Lina is always going to be one of those that if you do get collapsed on top of, you're very likely to die. So Earth Spirit, that Void Spirit, that Magnus, definitely going to be some concern. So Young G having a good start will be very beneficial.
Especially since he may not be able to rely on Pasha for a whole lot if this kind of pace continues. He currently has 9 CS.
That is for sure. Oh, Ilias, this could be an opportunity. Misery actually decides not to. That aggressive Shadow Word.
Yeah, Warlock, man. It's a hard hero to fight into. Pasha is going to be cutting some creeps behind the waves now that you can do that. It's 5 minutes in.
Love it. Has to do something, right? And I love that Pi, he started with boots, and he's like, oh, he's got boots now. I'm going to get a Windlace to make sure I can keep right-clicking him and chasing him down and keep securing that Troll's full free farm. So the biggest things I guess we can take away from all this is mid win for NaVi, but these offlaners, we see that huge win for 5 men. Magnus 26-4, Kunkka 9 blast hits, and not a whole lot of experience to boot.
Okay, so neutral creeps are more value comparatively to the previous patch, right? Because lane creeps are worth less.
Yeah.
And then you can get more gold from stacking them than you used to, right? So maybe this is their idea of maybe it doesn't matter so much what the lane matchup is as long as the 4 position stacks up. My Kunkka's going to be able to clear through that, and that's how he'll make his recovery.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely see that working. As long as they don't get the stack stolen. So they really have to make sure. Misery already has wards to watch out for it here. And they're already starting to make these aggressive plays and look to get in there.
Yeah, when the Kunkka pulled the creep wave, Pi walked right past that camp. So they're like, nope, we're not going to let the Kunkka get that. Lina, too. Lina obviously would be real proficient in clearing through stacks like that.
Yeah, Misery's literally just standing on top of that area. So they're probably going to look to deward that pretty soon. Bottom, Shibe. Actually forced you to go RP.
Yeah, and he goes for the skewer, but actually hits Ilias, which probably gets him killed as Ilias is going to get a few more hits in, and is actually the one to take that last hit. Immersion comes in to be able to kill the ward, but he dies in the process. Spectre Ultimate's going to go off here. If Young G can actually hit something here, they can get some real kills. They're going to go for Ace, see if they can blow him up before he gets off anything. Oh, he isn't actually even level 6, but Young G, he's the one in trouble as he got surrounded by the 2 supports in Chessie. Double kill for him. And all of 5 men, almost said Cloud9, hanging around this stack.
Nice aggressive moves there. And we saw exactly what we were talking about is Lina in this game, you're very fragile. So even though that mid matchup went so well, look at Void Spirit now. Off of one little movement there, he's now ahead of the Lina just because of that fragileness versus these heroes that can collapse on you. So Chessie fully caught up, gonna get himself a raindrop so he can stay sustained a bit more. Is anyone gonna fill up his bottle? Nah. Doesn't look like it. So 8-minute rune, definitely going to see 5 men look to set up for one of those 2. So Chessie can stay on the map.
Are scanning.
8-minute rune.
He's not going to be able to.
Kick him away if he wants to, but he actually doesn't go for it. And Ilias actually managed to pick up the illusion rune, blocks that rollout, and now if Young G, oh, nice sidestep there from Misery, but unfortunately, that little dodge wasn't good enough to keep him alive. Hey, we're finally gonna get it.
Yep, he gets himself a jelly too. Does not give any experience or anything to the Kunkka, but now we see Pasha, he's actually gotten a lane to get some experience in because of all those movements and everything going around. So they're just trying to boost up the Lina as much as possible. As we said, I think Young G is going to need all the help he can get in this game because of the fear of them just getting on him.
Just going to rush straight to that Yules as quick as possible. Kunkka, almost level 6. Once he does get that 6, I mean, he is a pretty formidable frontliner for a couple reasons, right? He's got that X, which is a nice catch, but then also the damage reduction from the Coco's Rum and just being a general soak for attention. Maybe he can create the kind of space that Youngji needs to be able to work around, but pretty much assumes that 5 men plays along with that.
Pasha, they're considering it too. The one thing I'm concerned about Navi really is it's really going to come down to it's going to change a lot because of Fatal Bonds, but I feel like they're actually lacking a bit of damage. I think Fatal Bonds is the thing that really changes everything besides that, but Lina Kunkka are really the majority-esque. The Inkswell is going to start coming into favor when Crystallize starts getting involved more, but I'm a little worried about their damage early on. But yeah, I mean, Fatal Bonds and Rock will change the majority of it.
Jesse. Hoping he has enough damage,
Nice
but Warlock is a tanky beast, man. Thanks to those raindrops, he's going to survive for a while. Eventually he does get it, costs him both his astral steps, but get that kill. Nobody rotates or anything like that from Na'Vi.
Pi wants the rune. Gets the click off. Does he get it in time? No, he does not.
Immersion wins it again. Second time he's managed to out-click Pili die, and this time Pi will die for an attempt like that.
I think he's always fine with giving his life like that. I mean, it seems like it, right? Pi does it every single game they play. Well, that he's played for the last couple years. And they're still in a comfortable spot anyway. Troll's getting very, very good farm. Now he should start definitely being careful. As Brian would say, now it has become the dead lane. We're at 10 minutes. Being up here is very risky when you're playing versus this Lina Kunkka, who's now level 6. Probably going to see Ace swap to the other side of the map very shortly.
So one trend I've noticed over the last year is that more people, I noticed this from Secret, for example, more people are willing to actually defend their safe lane tower.
And that's
how do you decide that?
I think it depends on how well your lanes went and how many mana availability, everybody having TP availability too. Because sometimes it's just oh, I just TP back to my bottom lane. I can't actually make it. I think they all have their TPs available right now, and they actually have made the move already up top to set up. So this one they can set up to defend for it easily. And Magnus, like we said, Jibe, he's pressuring the tower, and he also has his TP available. So that's one thing I'm always trying to watch out for these is just how much mana people have, because a lot of times I see these teams they want to defend their tier 1 and then the offlaner TPs, and it's he has 150 mana, and it's just wait, why the hell did he come down here? He gave this illusion that he would actually be more impactful for his team.
Jesse pops out with the Invis rune that he found, and okay, they're really going to drop this out. The Fatal Bonds goes out. They call for the Spectre to pop the ultimate. They're saying they're low. They've got Fatal Bonds on them. You can get both of these kills if you just come and show up, and Crystallize does just that. Unfortunately, they missed out on the kill on Misery. He only needed one more hit, but Crystallize wasn't fast enough.
Oh, the golem. He's feeding it. Shippy's going to get the money. Oh, he got the money.
How much gold is that? 100?
100, right? And then 150, and then 2, something like that?
Yeah,
I can't.
I think it scales from 100. That sounds right to me. Barely getting away. Crystallize, though. Zooming out of that bottom lane because his team is making the play towards top.
I think it's pretty good go time right now for 5 men. Yeah, Crystallize, he shows himself mid. Whoa, Rainbow
showing
TPs.
up. He's got the RP, and he may have to use it here to be able to save Jesse or even save his own life. Jesse's fine. It's himself he's got to worry about, and he's kind of stuck out here. Jesse limp away, just a little bit of HP thanks to the Fatal Bonds, but that kind of fast rotation from Na'Vi. All 5 heroes into the mid lane, and they got a pick. That'll turn into a mid tower. Very nice.
And it was, I actually find that move very clever, right? Because you just use Golem, you just use Haunt. I feel like 5 men was probably oh, there's an opportunity where we can look to outnumber them. Oh my god, they just Rainbow TP'd all 5 heroes to counter push us away. Ace gets a lot of space out of it, though. Down bottom, I think he got 5+ waves, couple neutral creeps out of it, too. So kind of even trade there coming out, at least from that one, even though they lost their mid tower.
Top tower will die eventually anyway, right? So Na'Vi, it's not like they really lost an opportunity with top lane pushes. You could see 5 men aren't trying to defend it.
Yeah, we see this game a bit different for Chessie. He's not able to actually go full aggression like he did last time. He actually is going for the Yule Scepter, it looks like, to go for those catch plays. Super nice to go for those backline heroes, and also to play around Torrent, right?
Yeah.
doesn't have to worry so much about X, then he has his own defensive mechanism always. All right, now we're gonna really see. This is Ace's time to really shine, right? Empower's online. I think it's still pretty low level, it looks like, but he's able to get that quick farm faster than Spectre now.
And by shine, you mean hit a lot of creeps.
Hit a lot of creeps. Yeah. That's the dream for these carry players.
Yeah. And Ace, he's living his best life right now.
Yep. Looks like we will probably have the Golem and the Haunt back up pretty soon. So 5 men, they weren't able to capitalize really, at least on those ults to make an aggressive move, but they still were able to get good farm on the map. I'm going to jinx us right here and say, looks like this one is the closest one that we've had of this series so far. Right as we say that, it's probably going to turn quickly.
Run, run, run. Oh, don't block yourself with the illusions. Uh-oh, Chassis doesn't have to dissimulate now, so he's in real trouble, especially as the silence from the Grimstroke hits him. He tries to get rid of the spirit, but it's too late. Crystallize gets him and goes straight for the enemy bounty rune. Nice, clean move that gets them a kill and 2.
Whenever you can get those type of pickoffs without having to expend an ult and you have a Spectre on your team, it's just super good.
Yeah, make that 3 actually. They got the bounty rune thanks to Young G as well.
Oh, wow.
So.
Yeah, that's very nice for them.
As a result, NaVi, they really shut down this net worth lead that 5 men did have at some point.
Yeah, doing a great job of protecting their side of the map early this game. That mid-tower defense was just, yeah, that was definitely really unexpected. Now it looks like 5 men, they're a little bit in a weird spot because Chessie, I think he wants to get that defensive item after that point because he just died super easily.
Looking a bit farther into the future, what does this Spectre versus Troll matchup look like? Where are the different power spikes?
Well, I mean, I feel like the Spectres, I feel like always go for the same thing, right? This Manta Diffusal build, and I feel like Troll, he's probably looking to be ready to fight. I think he can actually start getting involved with this SNY, and he can just go for the mask, and then he can look to actually join at the same time, if not earlier, than the Spectre. The Spectre's quite a bit weaker than him right now. I think they can just look to get involved. The thing is that Spectre 2 in this game, he can get involved differently because he has Grimstroke, so it enables him so much more to be able to play the game a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Ace is going for standard build too, but yeah, I think this is still pretty okay fighting point for Ace. With that Empower too, he's not much stronger.
NaVi hanging around here with the smoke. They see the 2. Nice catch. A double silence, holding the 2 into the boat combination here. The Fatal Bond's going to do some work as well. But both of these heroes are rather tanky. An opportunity to try and get some damage out, but Eu-VODs stalls up the Troll. They look to blow him up, but Ace does manage to get off.
He's on Spectre.
And now he's going to lean onto the Spectre. Spectre in trouble. Pops the ultimate. Jump, 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 but can't get away fast enough. He gets locked down by the Troll. And what, says Misery, how did that happen? How did this fight turn around so easily? They found such a beautiful initiation, but it seems like perhaps the Troll is too farmed from all that empowered farming he was doing.
Oh man, yeah, just that stat, all the stats that he has, right? Just from being able to back up farm, he'd finished all those items. Jebe with the mech comes into play, heals them up, tops them off, gets Ace at that livable point, or he can just pop ult, root goes off, sticks on that Spectre. Mech, you know, sometimes you just don't have the damage to go through all of that one there.
Yeah,
even though
I kind of wonder where Young G was at the start of that fight, right?
Yeah, definitely. They looked like they were lacking a little bit of that extra burst damage at first.
Yeah, if they had the LSA to follow up after the boat, and if they got double Laguna Blade in as well, maybe that could have been enough of a difference maker, but...
It was one of the things that I was touching on, right? I was like saying, I'm a little worried on this damage front. Like, if you can get this big Fatal Bonds and you get this cleave and boat and stuff like that, you have this nice damage, but there we saw it right there. They got this like beautiful setup onto the 2 heroes and their damage was just a bit lackluster. Jibbe.
2100 HP for the Magnetar. Eu-VODs actually gets rid of that Inkswell, but it doesn't matter. Jibbe is still dead to the Laguna Blade.
Still such a big swing though off of that one fight, right? When you're playing with a Magnus on your team, it was flat, it was even, and then it jumps up all the way to that 4K for 5 men.
Yeah. If they lose another fight like that, they start bleeding out some map control. I think that's when the Troll really starts taking over, right? Because then he's got so much more geography to just run around hitting creeps.
Yeah, and then like it's like a Roche starts becoming an issue, and then you're playing versus SNY Satanic and an Aegis, and you already are lacking damage in your draft. Pasha?
Roll it up.
Uh-oh.
Catches Pasha, slows him down enough for Ace to lead out with the damage. Nicely dodged with the Torrent there. He's actually going to go for TP out. The roll is not going to hit him. Pasha actually gets away there.
All right. Did not think that he was going to get out of that one.
No. Certainly not, but he's good. Still, they chased him away, and it looks like they'll take over this area and claim this off-lane Tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it looks like NaVi's kind of making the move to set up some wards around the area here to prepare for any type of further movement. 5 men, they're looking to just get super aggressive. They don't have actually any vision on the map. They have no wards, but looking to try to find probably the Spectre farming on his own somewhere here.
Who needs wards when you are 4 or 5 man, you know?
Yeah. Oh, they see Pasha there for a second.
Smokes on both sides break. He did have the vision on Chessie. Dissimulate makes it rather easy.
Oh, Tombstone on high ground, run.
Yeah, this is not looking so hot. They got to get out of here, but unfortunately the Kunkka is stuck. Rolled on by Misery, slowed down by the zombies. That Coco's Rum will certainly help him out for a little bit, but eventually he'll go down the Spectre. Nice double Laguna Blade on the right-hand side. It looks like they might be able to bring down both these cores.
Ace is in.
Zibe, he's trying to get away, but Crystallize going to be able to chase him down. RP not quite going off there. He holds on to it. Ace is in deep right now, but look at that golem with the Inkswell on. It looks like he is still in range, barely clipped by it. And that's going to be the Aegis. First life, second one. Hit by the LSA, controlled up, immediately silenced, and he's dead.
Oh man, 5 men made a big mistake there. They split up so hard going for those 2 different kills there. They could have just maybe settled to go for the 1, but they really wanted to press the issue forward, and then Pasha just buys back. He's able to join the fray back in, but Ace popping Battle Trance, right? You can't control yourself. He just charges into almost like Tier 4 areas.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good comeback there for NaVi.
At the same time, they had that nice soul bind with the double Laguna Blade.
Mm-hmm. Those are always the scariest places when I see those trolls, like they're between the Tier 2 and Tier 3, and they click Battle Trance, and you're like, oh god, they're going to pull me into Tier 4s. Yeah. And yeah, it ends up happening pretty close to that.
Yeah, and that means Pasha, he's going to be getting the halberd pretty quickly here. Big item up against a troll. Looks like Aghanim Scepter is going to build up for Young G after the Yules, Aether Lens, and Boots of Travel that he went for.
Cool with that. I always like those, like, especially versus a hero like Troll. Like, you just have that like high quick burst damage, and they have the they have the Grimstroke anyway. So double Ags Laguna is actually pretty potent. Here we see this one coming out. The great setup by the 2 of them there.
Tried to get off the RP you saw there, but Yules stopped it. Set up the double Laguna Blade. As a result, Ace popping his ultimate, who just chased in so deep. Still, 5 men, they're still up by 5k net worth. They shouldn't really panic too much. They still have that ease of just like, okay, we've got a troll that's in power farming, guys.
Yeah.
Like, might have thrown a little bit of a team fight, but it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's Troll Magnus, and I mean, Void Spirit, he uses Empower a tiny little bit too, you know, gives him a little bit more farm. But they're always going to have that really big window of, they're going to be able to fight toe-to-toe for the most part throughout all stages of the game, because they have this Magnus Troll versus that Spectre. Like, sure, Spectre, for the most part, reigns supreme in late games, but if a Troll is big enough, he can fight toe-to-toe pretty decently too.
Yeah, certainly. In which case, it'll come down a lot to the initiation and what's, supporting team fight we have. One side has a Magnus, which is big initiation, big team fight, but at the same time, Navi's got one of the best supports for the late game in the Warlock.
Yeah.
And Warlock Grimstroke, like he talked about at the start, that makes it even more potent.
As long as they can get the spells off, that's the big thing I'm looking at. Void Spirit, Earth Spirit, if they can change the entire tides of the game if they get into the back lines and just shut these 2 down from getting their combos off.
So a lot of eyes on Misery and Chessie for 5 men and see how they pull off their execution of the team fights in disrupting and discouraging Navi's heroes from casting spells. Navi, in the meantime, we are going to be watching them as they 4-man smoke through the mid lane. Got their Spectre up top. Ready to go with the ultimate, ready to join in as soon as they find an opportunity. It seems like they think Jibe is a good opportunity. Pull back into the boats. trying to keep their distance here and blow them up from the side. And it looks like they do that pretty nicely. Crystallize does jump into one of his apparitions and will quickly deal with the tombstone before they commence with the tier 2 tower push.
Probably one of the most ideal targets that they can catch there. The Magnus, the big initiator up in that front line. Pasha, Jesse. Watching each other a little bit, but there's no tombstone. Remember, it was just killed, so this is a bit of a weird defense here for 5 men. They have to be careful how they approach this, because they can get sandwiched on pretty easily when there's still a golem up. But NaVi, they're a backup reset. They used Haunt, they used Laguna, they used Boat. They don't want to force anything. They don't have to now. It's a pretty decent win for them.
And they know 5 men certainly wasn't going to give up that tier 2 so easily. Yeah. Combination of the tower aura getting buffed up a little bit more, right? That happened in 727, I think. And then also the big notable change of the outposts. Getting that unlocked as you take a tier 2. It feels like nowadays, like before we were setting this like very standard pattern where it's like, okay, you lose like both towers, your safe lane towers, but nowadays it's like you just keep all your tier 2s alive.
Yep.
Everyone will hard defend that.
Ace does not have a neutral item. Did I see that right? He does not have a neutral item. I guess they just haven't found a decent one for him.
Yeah, well...
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Okay.
This is swapped in something.
I was like, they have to have one that he can use.
Yeah.
Like anything is pretty decent. Even like a clumsy net can work wonders on carries at times. So does pick that one up. Playing on a decent aggressive stance, they can definitely look to make a Roshan happen. If NaVi botches any of their ultimates, we could see 5 men quickly back up for that one there. So staying in this area.
I like that Ace is really utilizing his strength of the S&Y Satanic. Just kind of like always pushing forward onto the enemy side of the map. He knows that NaVi feels uncomfortable going on him.
Yeah.
And what an opportunity.
Perfect timing for a DD rune. I thought you were going to say I like how he's utilizing his treads and Vambrace because he double swapped them to int when he uses Whirling Axes. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, damn, nice. Hell yeah.
Okay, free Roshan.
Free Rosh,
doing
DD.
double damage.
Where's Nas?
The spitting on the TV screen.
Yeah, he hates those DD. Yeah, out of context, but yeah, Nas hates DDs out of Rosh Pit, by the way, for anyone.
Yes.
Not a fan.
He's adamant that it should have limited impact on Roshan. It should do like 50% less damage or something.
Yep. Which gets the Yules, but the X timing was there.
BKB for Misery. Ooh.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Dude, Misery is huge.
That
What?
boy's farmed.
Oh, that's the dream as an Earth Spirit too, to be able to get into like the back lines. Then you have no fear.
Yeah.
You're just like, whatever, I'm BKBing and rolling and finding this Warlock Grimstroke. And it'll be pretty hard to prevent. Pylite die, we've got the Holy Locket. He's got the heals for his team. All right. Pretty sweet item pickups from those supports there.
Ever since that item was introduced, Ice Frog has been trying to work around with it and also buff it. And maybe it's finally been buffed up enough times that it's worth for some heroes to get.
Oh my god. Crystallizes in such a scary spot, but he's got the vision. Ace, far up. So has Aegis and everything.
Okay, this is pretty good for NaVi. They managed to take an Aegis with very little committed. Laguna Blade is a super short cooldown for an ultimate, so...
Friends, let us skirmish.
That was great. I mean, you just completely counteracted that whole DD Roche move. And you're going to push them back, and your Spectre's farming. Yeah, nice. Very nice.
They got vision.
They see him for a second. He's got vision of them, though. You see him looking at... I love how we have the camera of the players, too. You see him like looking at the mini-map so intently, just knowing where they are right there.
Crystallize completes his Diffusal Blade and is ready to jump back in with his ultimate if his team finds the right opportunity again. Laguna Blade comes back up just now, so they are at peak strength. They've got all their ultimates if they wish to try and fight for control of this game again, because right now it feels like NaVi's just letting 5 men
Oh, he's
Turning
behind.
a lot of it. It looks like they found an opening here. The Yule Scepter into the Aether Remnant. It's going to be nice pick off onto the Grimstroke. Look for more, though. Chessie popping his BKB. Doesn't run down any other supports. Seems like he was rather nervous.
Yeah. If he just really wanted to press forward to try to get that extra kill, that +1, but yeah, 10-second BKB wasted for it. But now maybe with this smoke, they can find this Spectre.
Dire are scanning.
Crystallize has been doing a lot of split pushing in these side lanes.
He's doing good. Look at him, just there's that awareness. He's just constantly looking at his map, trying to see what's going on when he can take the opportunity to
Radiant's
continue
middle
moving
tower
forward to
has
farm.
fallen.
Misery seems to know something's up. He's paying it. Dude, he knows.
He's running along the side, so his smoke will break when he comes a little bit close, and he does manage to find Crystallize. He sees
Spotted.
him now. Manages to slow him down, silence him, hits him with the 1 stun. Crystallize turning, fighting a Misery, knowing he has no other option but just to stay on to Crystallize for now. His allies are going to be in soon, but it's a bit too late, it looks like, unless
It's worth
he grabs him just in time. Now, Crystallize has to make some fancy moves, though. Gets to the other side, jumps on an Ace with his ultimate, and tries to get away with the dagger. They pop everything they have to be able to catch up to Crystallize, and it looks like now he's been caught. Misery's sacrifice is all worth it. He tips him, he says, I gotcha.
So worth it. You know, he's I especially for the person like Rasmus, right? Like you picture the face that he's probably making. He's just like, get him!
Yep.
Screaming the whole time, like
he's screaming at his team. Combination of furious and joy.
Yeah, that was super nice, super well done by him. His team gets the nice movement to catch up there. Now Chessie's making the move bottom.
He knocks down those trees and sees, that's a lot of teleports. As a result, he will die, but he'll get a spiteful kill on Pile Die before he goes down.
Okay. I mean, he got a good, decent chunk of gold there as a trade, but Ace gets that killing spree, 550 for him too.
Okay, so he was worth 460 gold, so I'm going to say that's worth it. But in a weird way, right, he amped himself up into a killing streak.
Yeah.
Which did get buffed. Like, those are worth more than they used to be, so...
Not worth it.
Not worth it. Wrong. You're wrong for killing somebody.
It's a bit surprising to see them press the issue forward and go for that tower. That is the... every time I see people go for those type of towers in these situations, it's like you're gonna get get sandwiched. So definitely an over-aggressive move there by NaVi.
Especially if they have like really good catch. Right?
Yeah.
Attacking the off-lane tower, you don't have your safe lane tier 1. That is so much room for them to chase you.
And you don't really gain that crazy amount of anything out of it.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, we got the bottom tower, you know, like some extra gold. It's not like you're getting this insane map control or anything from it. So
I yell at my pubs all the time. Off-lane tier 1 tower, most worthless tower.
It's like the mid wave when you're killing the catapult and you're like, dude, don't kill that catapult. That catapult is always a bait in the mid river.
Yeah.
When you go for those off-lane towers like that, it's always a bait.
Yeah.
And now they've got such a big window there. Those type of kills on 2 cores, you see the Troll just take such big advantage. 8,000 ahead of the Spectre now, just because of these last few moments. And he's got, the Dream pickup, of course. When you're going for your status resist build, the game just blesses you with the sliver almost every time, it feels like, as he does get that one.
Thank God the stacking is a bit different than it used to be.
Thankfully. And it's also not as relevant because the Laguna is pure damage, so the magic resistance isn't going to be as effective versus the Lina in particular, but versus everyone else, that magic resistance will be nice from that sliver.
For sure. Isn't it wild that that's still like a build stacking status resistance and it used to be additive, right?
Yeah.
Instead of multiplicative.
It's just so value, right? Like, there's no... What else do you build, right? It's good stats. It makes you tanky on top of the status resistance. Maybe if they move the status resistance to, like, intelligence items or some agility items where it just made it, like, you don't get tanky, but, you get, like, some more damage and stuff, it would change stuff. But, that's a huge rework, and who knows what will happen. But yeah, status resistance still just feels too damn strong because you're resistant to stuns and you have such a high HP pool from the build-ups. Give me an Eagle Song instead of that Reaver on that Satanic or something. Just ruin the build. Or make it better.
What kind of bothers me about it as well is it's not even like we see a whole lot of strength cores.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh god, this is so good, all of these like really tanky here. Like, we're seeing it on like very often these trolls,
Oh, Crystallize the TP.
Oh, don't see him.
Oh, he saw them for a second there.
Yeah.
Now they probably run to the opposite side of the map, right? You
Yeah.
assume Spectre TP to that top lane, and if they did assume that they're right, they actually will find a Kunkka instead in mid.
I can't believe Pasha even tried to do this, but maybe they can still kind of fight around it. They need to deal with the Tombstone first. Young G is going to put out some damage, deal with the Tombstone as quick as possible. Zibe is in trouble, though. He's still silenced up. He can try and skewer away now, but it's too late. Those
Ace
last
the
couple
Spectre.
shots. Ace on top of the Spectre with the help of Jesse. Quickly brings him down. They do have the buyback, though. Can he come back in and win this fight for him? Not with the Young G being gone. Pasha bought back too, but this is just looking like a fight that couldn't be won no matter how many heroes you bought back and brought to it.
Like you said, I'm surprised Pasha showed his face in the mid lane there. That was insane. They just all showed bottom, and you have to assume they're going to continue to make the move to look for somebody with that type of smoke. I'm very surprised he showed his face there. That's without a Magnus RP, and they roll the fight with ease.
It's looking spicy.
It is looking spicy.
Maybe like they just saw the troll. Like they did just only see the troll, right?
That is
he was
true.
the only one who smokes, and maybe they thought it was one of those situations where troll was just kind of farming more solo.
I guess, but
Or maybe there were heroes like quote unquote behind him, so farther to the right on the map. I don't know. Either way, there was definitely better options there for Pasha.
yeah, just a risky play to go for just like a creep wave, right?
Yeah.
Now
He wasn't even doing the X marks the spot play, which he'd been
No.
doing the entire game, I feel like.
Yep. Now it's ramped up from what, an 11K lead up to a 20K lead real fast. Look at that. Just a matter of moments.
And Jesse is so farmed, he's thinking about an Octarine.
Yeah,
Big boy item.
he's having a pretty good time now. 6-2 and 9. Void Spirit is just owning the series, right? Seems to be doing really well in this one.
Certainly not the spirit that I think of being the most effective for this meta. I think like Ember Spirit just seems crazy strong. This Void Spirit looking real good the mid lane for this series.
Oh boy,
Radiant's bottom
Ace is
tower has fallen.
yeah, he's pretty strong. Now he's 25 as well, so good luck getting him with the combo. He can just click Battle Trance and remove your stuns. That strong Dispel doesn't really care about much of anything. So now, yeah, he's got free reign in the fights. Magnus also has Lotus Orb to protect himself versus the annoyance. Remove that Fatal Bonds in particular so he can always get his Blink off. Oh, he actually chooses the Whirling Axe's cooldown. That's a bit of a surprise there.
I saw him holding on to that skill point. I was just like, I was listening to you talk about it. I'm like, yeah, you definitely go for that one. Apparently not.
Okay. Interesting.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Well, you can try and slow down Ace as much as you want, but he is going to take your buildings unless you make a real initiation here.
Yeah, I wonder if his thought process with it behind it is like, nobody can man fight me if I have this. Spectre will never be able to actually just like go on me because I'll just always have the miss rate on him and he never builds MKB. I'm not sure. Interesting.
He's got Aegis as well, so he's like, I don't really need that direct save because they won't be able to kill me twice.
Now this continued aggression, suffocation, leave NaVi in the base.
Take a moment here to get their tier 4 items.
Yep. Did I see that right? His Misery almost got like an AC?
I bet he does because he did have a BKB
Oh, I think he has it
pretty
already.
early, so jeez.
I think he actually has the full thing. He does. Holy moly. Misery. I mean, 1, 2, and 12. He's having a great time. Lena.
Catching Young G. And he's going to be in serious trouble as he comes back down to earth. He is greeted by both Misery and Jesse, and eventually he does die. Misery was able to get that as the BKB wore out. Misery staying on that front lines with his BKB. A nice RP from Zibe is going to be able to pull them all back into death. Triple kill for Pylai. Die. Even Pi is getting in on this action and getting some kills. That's how you know it is truly done and dusted. It is over. Dropping cheese on the ground. Just to show that 5 men, they didn't need it. They did need 3 games, however, after losing that game 2, but